Taylen, a lot's been made about your new wide receivers this season. 6 touchdown passes. Just what did you see from that group today?
First off, I want to give praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And like everybody's been talking about, just the versatility of the receiver room, and just showcasing the ball in their hands and the playmaking ability that they have. And like I said, I want to say the previous interview, I just got to do my job and giving them opportunity, and they're gonna do the rest. So.
Did anything surprise you? First time out there with Omega, Raylan. Anything jump out at you like maybe hadn't seen this in fall camp, or was it just all the preseason work? Kind of nothing really surprised you today.
I mean, honestly, it was just like you said, the preseason work, but just being antsy to be back out there in front of the fans. With my brothers, and just to be out there live, not having a black jersey on, and yeah, going to battle.
CJ, how good was today? Not only just what's gone on with your father and everything, but also your first kind of huge contribution here at Arkansas.
It's good. I think it's the best for my mom, my family. My mom loves to see me go out there and score touchdowns, and Taylen was able to get me the ball today. And he made great plays too to allow me to make plays.
How to make up for last year.
For you, I think you had more yards after the catch than maybe the second guy had receiving yards in total. I mean, what made it so difficult for defenders to bring you down today?
Just hearing it every day from Coach Petrino, yards out the catch, and just self-motivated, and just wanting to get the extra yards. So that's really all to it.
And obviously for you, you went back in, but can you just describe a little bit more about what happened just with the hamstring and then in the tent, kind of the problem there?
Just cramping. I haven't been live and with the bullets flying since the bowl game, and of course, it's a 3:15 kickoff, so I got to do a better job of hydrating and get my body right. So,
you and Coach Pittman kind of shared a hug after that second touchdown. What was said between you guys?
Coach Pittman was there through every step of the way with my father. He almost had to force me to go see my father because I know if my dad wanted me to be at practice, like always. If any of y'all knew my dad, he wanted me to be at practice. So, Coach Pittman pulled me aside, when it was all going on, and told me that I need to go and they're going to take me this afternoon, you know what I'm saying? So, that moment we shared, he just hugged me, and I told him I'm doing it for my pops, and he was like, you are. So that was all that was.
How much have you and Jada kind of leaned on each other in this time?
Not only Jada, but my other two sisters. I mean, me being the only boy, they're going to look up to me just naturally. Being there, being strong for them and strong for my mother as well. I think we've leaned on each other a lot.
Big in the FCA on the board. How much comfort does that give you?
A lot. I mean, my dad touched a lot of people. He's a great man, and I'm going to keep his legacy alive for till the day I die.
Yeah, for Taylen and Omega, that last drive of the first half kind of seemed like maybe you guys were force-feeding Omega there. He had 3 receptions on that drive. Was that intentional, or was it just luck of the draw? He was open.
I mean, I would say you just got to feed the playmakers, and, he does a great job of getting open, and I see mismatches, and I got to do my job to give him opportunity. He's going to do the rest, so.
Touchdown pass where you're going right, you're going to the ground, and then that dart defender hanging all over him. I mean, you had 6 touchdown passes today. Was that your favorite, or do you have a favorite?
I don't really got a favorite, really. All touchdowns I'm grateful for. That's really our mindset, is to score every single time we touch the ball and have a series. So I would say that was a pretty cool experience, and to celebrate in the back of the end zone. What celebration you do? Because you high five somebody at home.
Getting the crowd involved. You got to score. You got to get the crowd involved. So that's what I'll be doing.
KJ had his own touchdown pass. I mean, just what'd you think of his performance today?
I thought he did well. Came in there and You know, he got hit but still delivered the ball. You know, a lot of people don't see how much he prepares every single day. You know, he will like have a 10 a.m. meeting or 11 a.m. meeting. Say we have like 11 a.m. meeting. He's gonna wake up at 5 a.m. and prepare. And you know, Coach Petrino jokes all the time. He walks into the meeting room and he's like, "KJ, what time did you wake up?" And he's like 5:30, and everybody else wakes up at 9:30 and stuff like that. So he's always being prepared. And even in the hotel room, he was going over the script and going over the opening the plays. So just his prep and just seeing how he matured through this whole thing. So I'm proud of him for how he stepped in there and got his first touchdown.
As being a veteran, I mean, going back to your first few years, I mean, how important is it for a younger guy like that to get those reps?
Oh, definitely. It all starts with getting your feet wet and just building that confidence. Really just you see, especially as a freshman, you run out the tunnel, you see all these people, bullets flying fast, but at the same time, once you get reps and once you get comfortable and get your feet wet, you realize there's 22 people out there and 120 yards, and it's just like when you picked up the ball your first time and fell in love with it. So
Seems like you got hit a little bit hard after a few scrambles. What's kind of your mentality when it comes to the open field?
Honestly, do whatever I have to do to get that first down. And it took a little bit for me to get used to hitting because I haven't got hit, like I said, since the bowl game. But after those hits, I'm wake up and continue to play ball, keep the chains moving. So,
Taylen, whole new receiving crew this year, all new, basically. What do you think about you guys' performance today and opening up and making a statement the way you guys did, saying that everything's going to be fine?
I mean, honestly, I wasn't surprised. If you see how much work they put in, but at the same time, how fast they practice, especially Omega and CJ. Like Omega would take a drag route, and we'll be like on the 20-yard line and take it 80 yards. And just the way that they work every single day, they could be tired, but you wouldn't know it. And, I'm not surprised, but I'm just glad and grateful to have a receiver room like this.
On that one drive you guys had right before halftime, I think you went to him 5 times on that drive. You got 4. The other one was a pass interference. When he's coming back or after a play, is he looking at you going, "I'm open, bro. I'm open"?
Oh, always. He always gonna say, even when he's always gonna be like, keep feeding me, or he's gonna give me a certain look, and I know like that Omega's the one I can depend on if I don't get scrambling or something like that. So just to have that weapon in the offense is definitely he could tell you how much he.
What do you got to say about that?
It just goes back to us, training and getting the extra reps out to practice and, just meeting and watching film and, like I said, just having his back and knowing he got mine. So, like I said, it's just, he going to make certain things, and I just feel like I got to make it correct. So, we don't hear Coach Petrino's mouth at the end of the day. So, that's really all it is.
That was a great job.
On how things went today against Alabama A&M.
I feel like we got a low start. It could have been a better start. It kind of took for us to get punched in the mouth on that first drive to realize and wake up and see what was going on. But after that, we had to talk with each other, had to talk with our coaches, and, we came out and dominated the rest of the game.
I'll say the same thing.
Had a slow start, and, that first drive kind of was a tough drive for us. We were kind of slow out there, and, after that drive, I think we kind of started clicking together as a defense, and, that's really it.
Were they running stuff you were ready for, or what do you think played into that first drive?
Nah, I would say just lack of attention, from us as a defense, lack of attention, and you know what I mean. Maybe we was too amped up and stuff. And we went out there and, we just got to chill and just know it's football. We know it's the first game of the season, but it's still football. And, we just got to do our job, and that's it.
Yeah, it was nothing that they was doing that we haven't seen or haven't prepared for. Our coaches did a amazing job getting us ready for this game, and their whole offensive staff came from Miles College, so we was studying Miles film when they was there. We was studying personnel, Alabama A&M wise, the current players that was still there. So it was just all us. It was just all accountability when it comes to the Arkansas defense.
And maybe there's some missed assignments on that first drive. Is that something you guys know right when the play's over? Do you have to get filled in when you get to the sideline? Just walk me through maybe that process of kind of recognizing the mistakes there on the first drive.
I got you. So yeah, I think. What was your question again? You say is it
when a missed assignment happens, do you know right when the play's over? Or is that something you have to go to the sideline and maybe Coach T. Will or position coach kind of points that out?
Yeah, so sometimes right when the play happens, you messed up, and then sometimes you don't. Sometimes you may think you did the right thing until you get to the sideline, and we have iPads now, so we can watch the previous plays right there on the field, and that's when you see, oh, man, I messed up or I was out of my gap or something. So I think it's kind of work hand in hand, at least with our position. I know sometimes we think we're right and we're wrong, and sometimes we think we're wrong and we're right. So, yes, sir.
Defensive line got a lot better as the game wore on, getting into the backfield and stuff. What were your thoughts overall on that unit's performance? What can you guys maybe get better at going to week 2 with Arkansas State?
We did good overall. We had a slow start, from a defensive line standpoint with a lot of missed assignments and, leaving open field tackles open. But, all it takes is for Coach Adams to talk to us on the sideline the way that he talks to us. And, we woke up and we realized that the defensive hold starts with us. And we have to be that anchor because the back end with the linebackers and the defensive backs, they depend on us. So we had to wake up, and get everything going.
And for you first, Sam was in here saying that you had a little bit of treatment done recently. I guess first, how are you feeling?
No, I feel good. Yes, sir, I feel good.
Coach is also in here saying that some players are aware that there's some improvements to be made for next week. From your perspective, defensively, what are those?
Started out low attention and things like that. So I'll say just next week we got to open up the game hot and focused and you know what I mean, those type things. And it's some games where that one drive it can be a game changer. So we can't have no bad drives, whether it's the first drive of the game or the last drive of the game. We gotta go out there and have great drives. And as a defense, that's what we're looking to achieve.
And Cam, for you, I see you have your dad on your chest. I mean, what did it mean emotionally for you to have him on your back as well?
I've been crying since this morning, seeing my mom and my dad standing, not standing right next to her, it kind of got to me. And as soon as I got on the field, I put my stuff down in the locker room and I just broke down. I lost it, man. And my dad said he used to send me all these little videos and stuff, so I was watching that before we went out for the captain's little coin toss, and I lost it again. But I know he was with me, and he still is. He probably somewhere in this room right now just smiling at me. So it was kind of rough, man, but I know he's still with me through it all.
Any comforting talks maybe with CJ? Is just something that it's relatable as teammate to teammate?
Yeah, man, when CJ's father had first passed, it was just so crazy because I'm trying to give him words of encouragement. And, my father had passed probably 2 months before him. And it was, as I was texting, I was just like, wow, man, never knew I had to, comfort somebody else in this situation because I knew how he felt. And I told him, if you don't want to talk to me, that's okay. If you want to talk to me, that's okay, because I was in your same position. I still am. And when he made those plays out there today, man, I just went up to him, gave him a hug, and I talked to him in the locker room a minute ago, and the first thing he said was that was for Pops. And I was like, I already know, bro. So.
For both of you and Cam first, it was a disappointing start, but, the last 2.5 quarters, what are you most proud of what you did defensively?
Of how we had multiple 3-and-outs and how we bowled up, and we took the play calling, and we just came out and we finished the game how we were supposed to. How we finished the game how we started it. So all we have to do is do a lot of self-evaluating. The 24-hour rule is how we deal with things. So we're gonna enjoy this win because no matter who the team is, Coach Pitt just told us, man, a win is hard to get in college football. So we're gonna enjoy this win, and tomorrow, man, do a lot of self-evaluating, and leave our feelings at the door when it comes to film, and prepare for Arkansas State.
Yes, sir. So I think one of the biggest things was that the second half, like we kept them out of the end zone. They scored that first half, first quarter, and that's one of the biggest things that I'm proud of our defense for, just keeping them out of the end zone. We shouldn't have let them score at all, but yeah, that's really it.
Talking about how hungry, yourself, a lot of defensive players were, and saying, that this isn't good enough. We have to be better. Were there moments like that collectively whenever you guys were communicating that to one another?
There was a lot of moments because, we made some good plays, but we left a lot on the field, man. And we're going to see more of it on tape, but we know what the standard is, and we know, like, even though we won how we did, that wasn't our standard, and it's always room for improvement. We could blow somebody out how we did, but we always know, like, there's room for improvement, and we got to polish everything so we can play a full, complete game. That wasn't a full, complete game out there defensively.
The players maybe talked after that first drive. Do you kind of take it upon yourself, and maybe Cam as well, to kind of lead that discussion amongst the players after the first drive?
With our defense, like, we all kind of do. First level, second level, third level. It's guys on each level that kind of know, and they lead us, and everybody kind of got say-so like, when it comes to that. And then you got, like, Coach T-Will and things like that, that if a player don't speak up or don't, like, he's going to check us and make sure that, we're right. And yes, sir.
A lot of emphasis in camp about sacks and turnovers. How good did it feel to maybe get one of both in the second half, just to kind of build on, Arkansas State next week?
It was good. I got my hand in there on one of them. They ain't gonna say that on paper, but I played a little part in one of them. But it was good, man. Especially seeing like the guys who got sacks. It was just a happy moment for them, and just to know that we do have stuff to build off of, and we can even critique how we got to those sacks or how we can get to them quicker. It's just always room for improvement in whatever we do.
Hey, Cam, I'm sorry, one more just as a follow-up. Did you have a moment with CJ, right after he scored, where you went up to him like, hey, really proud of you, man. I know what you've been through.
I just went up to him and told him, good job, man, because it really wasn't much to be said because I know what was going through his head and I know who he did it for. So I wouldn't really say we had a moment, but just a minute ago when I seen him in the locker room, I just told him, man, I'm happy for you, bro. And like he said, the first thing was for Pops. So.
Coach Pittman said next week would be easier motivation because it's Arkansas State. Any thoughts about playing an in-state team next week?
Like, they've been wanting to play us for like 93 years or so. But, man, we're just going to prepare for them like, any other opponent. Arkansas State, from what I've seen in previous years and previous game, man, they got a really good team. So we're not going to treat them like, any other team. We're just going to prepare for them how we prepare for each and every team. But they have a good team, man, and I'm excited to play, for the state of Arkansas and up here in Northwest Arkansas.
Appreciate you. Great job.